salsa and swing dancing and Irish step dancing and river dancing and ballet and jazz and tap and lyrical, and I'm out of dances. Oh, break dancing. We love a break dance. Get down on the floor. Fuck it. It might be COVID, but have a good time. Get down on the floor of your own house. Breakdancing is something I'll never fully understand. I wanted to start this week's intro with something fun, something different, something that gives people endorphins, and what better thing than dance? I don't do it, but some of you might, and start dancing today. It'll make your quarantine a little bit lighter. You heard it here on Shank. Guys, we have an amazing episode for you this week with Chelsea Skidmore, but before we get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about socks. Why? Because socks are important. Why? Because we wear them every day. Some of you might not wear shoes, but you always wear socks because you need to. And not just, I like socks, but not just any socks. I like Oh Yeah socks. Check them out at Oh Yeah Socks on Instagram. That's 3 zeros HYEAH socks. And you can go to their website at ohyeah.com. And when you go onto ohyeah.com, you will see a wide selection of socks for surf, snow, regular life. They have socks for men, women, children, and all of their designs are super fun. They have different graphic designers who collaborate with them to bring one-of-a-kind designs, and I can't tell you how much I love their products. Give the gift of socks. They're affordable, especially with discount code SARA10. That's SARA 10. And you'll get 10% off Oh Yeah socks. You heard it here on Shank. Maybe you're like, what made you want to talk about sneakers today? Where did that come from? Well, I'll tell you right now. Weed. Because I like weed, and not just any type of weed. I like good quality weed. Why? Because I care. I'm not going to smoke some shitty flower. I'm not going to smoke some weird grass. Yeah, I called it grass. I've been quarantining with my father, in case you haven't noticed. So I say words like grass now. I say doobie now. Things have gone weird. Things have gotten really weird. But anyways, yeah, I like top quality weed. And when it comes to top quality weed, there's really only one dispensary I trust, and that's Libra Shops. Libra is a dispensary that's based in Palm Desert. That's where their flagship store is. They have an amazing selection of cannabis. It's all really, really well curated, and their bud baristas know a ton. And you can join their Club Libra for different discounts, and they also have contactless delivery now. So that's super exciting. You can check out their website, librashop.com, and head over there. And thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Shank. Here's this week's episode with Chelsea Skidmore. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is Chelsea Skidmore.
Hello, Sarah.
Hello, this is the part 2 of our episode.
Did we just pick up where we left off?
I mean, what were we talking about?
We were talking about, like, who we are without performing.
We were left talking about writing.
Yeah.
So, okay, for me, the joke writing is something I've just been doing because I'm just in like the process of doing it, but I haven't been like fine tuning them. I just have premises that I will one day work out on stage, but I'm not writing like scripts.
Yeah.
Are you writing scripts?
Yeah, I am. So like what happened?
How's that going?
It was a journey for me. And I'd like to take us back since we have some time.
Yeah, take us back.
So what was going on for me, I think it's more important to backtrack to like the to how like quarantine kind of changed over time.
Okay.
You know, I'd say like the first couple weeks were filled with like some anxiety and panic, you know, feeling really hard to focus.
That's when I was extra manic.
Yeah, which makes sense. I think like it took a lot of,
oh, there's a disease that's going to kill everyone I love. Great.
Yeah, I think like the first month was like really hard for people to in general just be in acceptance, which is like once I got into the idea of acceptance, that's when things changed for me. And I think it's probably around the third week. And I started looking at it in the way that like, you know, like what I learned from 12-step programs. Like once you're like, you know, I can't control what's going on around me. Like it kind of just is what it is. Like I think like when you're trying to control something, it can drive you crazy.
Totally.
So like once you kind of reach that like point of like it just is what it is, like I'm stuck inside, like I'm not going to be able to go outside and hang out with my friends. I'm not going to be able to, go to the comedy store, like okay, so now what? Like now we just make life inside. Like so I started creating a schedule for myself. And
So walk me through the sketch.
the sketch is this. We wake up around 9:30, say hi to Jaggy, we ice roll my face, we get the coffee.
Wait, ice roll your face. Okay.
We get a coffee.
And so when you're ice rolling the face, is it just the roller on the skin or do you have a serum?
No, it's just like it's this cold thing that I keep in the freezer.
Okay.
So I just like freeze, like put that over my face to kind of wake me up. And then I journal. I do 3 pages in a notebook from like 10 to 11.
Okay.
And that is something that I took from the Artist's Way. And it's basically, have you done the Artist's Way?
No, but I've heard about journaling and that part of the Artist's Way right when you wake up.
It's amazing. And it's like interesting because you carry so much around in your subconscious and in your mind until really you put pen to paper. You don't realize how much is going on.
Right.
So I'll do 3 pages and I'll end with a gratitude list of like 10 things I'm grateful for.
I like that.
And then I'll have breakfast and do some like general like little things like emails or bills, whatever, like little shit like that, cleaning up. And then I usually do Stacia's workout class at 12.
Okay.
So I do that from 12 to 1, then I shower from 1 to 2, and I eat lunch, and then I usually start writing around 2.
Okay.
And so I was having, and I bring up the writing, the journaling because of this. I was having a really hard time with writing. I was like, I think in those first few weeks, everyone was really unfocused during quarantine. It was really hard to like focus in general.
Well, yeah, because you're like, do I have a job still? Are people just that I love gonna die? Can I leave the house? Did I touch my face today?
There's so much anxiety going on.
Yeah.
And like also like a low grade trauma, of just
Totally.
kind of like understanding what was going on. And, I'd have calls with people and be like, I want to write something desperately because you would hear these stories like, I don't know who the fuck it was, but I know it wasn't Albert Einstein, but it's like blah, blah, blah invented this during the Spanish flu. Like, do you know what?
Let's see.
There was people
a lot
during,
of people.
yeah, I'm sure you've come across these like little, like, facts
Yes.
of people like inventing things during like the Spanish flu or like just like people fucking killing it. So then I'm like, I need to write like an incredible script like during quarantine.
Yeah,
and,
there's that weird pressure that you're internally putting on yourself of like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because we live in a society that's so action based. So once you take the action out of things and you like start to slow down, there is like an adjustment period, I think.
Yeah, and I was being paralyzed by my perfectionism. I was like just obsessed with this idea. And then so I was journaling one day and every day I'd be saying, I want to write something. I want to write something. And then I started journaling and then I started to write a fears list, which is something that you do in like 12-step programs. And you're just writing out of fear. I'm like, what am I so afraid of with writing? And then it's like all these things came up that I had no idea that were in my head. And like they weren't real things. They're just fears. It doesn't mean, fears aren't facts kind of thing. But like, what if I'm not a good writer? What if everyone just thinks I'm a good writer? I'm not. Like, what if I don't have any ideas? Like, once I start ideas, I'll never finish them. Like, I lose steam. Like this, that. Like, I had like 20 fucking like of these fears that were going on. And I was like, oh, like, that's like so crazy. And I looked at that. And then I read them to Steven and we like lit a candle and we like released them sort of thing. Like you kind of like breathe them out and like do like the 6th and 7th step. You do like the 7-step prayer, which is like an AA thing. Just like a way of like releasing it. Like the idea of like getting rid of these fears. And then the next day I did this like behavioral like thing he got from his therapist, which is like you have a thought or there's like a situation like I want to write and then there's like a thought that follows that like I can't ever come up with like a new idea and then like the behavior that follows that like anxiety like blah 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 and then you basically like change it.
Oh yeah, that's like a form of cognitive therapy. It helps you like restructure your thought process, and like the writing of it actually like creates proteins in your brain, which helps you change
To
your way
create
of
new
thinking.
neural pathways?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the stuff that you were doing?
Yeah, that's the stuff that I was doing. It's the same thing where you write down like the cognitive distortion and then what cognitive, like, so it's like I always get a flat tire. That would be the cognitive distortion. And then the truth is, like, you don't always get a flat tire. You've gotten 2 flat tires in a month or whatever. Like, that's a cognitive distortion. So like the real thought is I sometimes get flat tires and I always fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And just like the writing of that helps create proteins, which creates new neural pathways. And it's in the same way that, like, my therapist explained it as like the same way when you're riding a bike and you never forget how to ride a bike because you're putting your feet to the pedal and it's just creating new neural pathways, and it's like a muscle thing and creates proteins. He's like the same thing with pen to paper, and if you do that every day for 30 days you'll see a significant difference in your thinking.
Wow.
And like I did it and it changed my thinking a lot.
For 30 days you did it?
Yeah, and he made me, and he would have me like bring the assignment and turn it into him, and then he'd like look over it, and I was like, do I have to keep doing this? And he's like, yeah, you have to keep doing it because it's the pen to paper that helps, like.
Wow.
And it makes sense because like right before I do sets, I always just write out my set manically.
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah, just like even though I know my set.
Yeah, but just like a little order to think about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, so ever since you started doing the free writing in the morning, do you feel like that's translated? Because I have heard that the artist way, that free writing in the morning helps with all types of creativity.
Well, it also just like brings stuff up. So once I saw that, I was able to see like the stuff I was carrying around was so ridiculous. And then the next day I just sat down and it's like, you just have to like sit yourself down in front of a computer screen. Like I was so in my head about how I don't have any good ideas, how I don't know what I'm going to write about until I just sat down. I just started writing and I ended up, writing like I'm like 45 pages into like a new like screenplay, but I don't normally write films. I write pilots normally. So it's like a little more daunting to me because I feel like I know like the formula of like a pilot really well, and like a script just feels like so many more pages.
Yeah, because how many more pages? Like 120 or something?
Yeah, like between like 90 and 120, I guess, right? Or like 110.
Yeah, but also it's like
I'm on like 45 and I'm like, what is this about?
You can't even put.
What is this about?
I've had a few scripts where I've written and then I've just bailed.
Yeah, but I did like fix up like another pilot that I had like written a while ago and did like the pitch doc for that. So I showed up every day to that. So I completed a new pilot that I co-wrote with Leah like a long time ago, years ago, and we're like, let's just fix this up, just like have something and just like keep showing up to things. And now I'm trying to work on this solo script by myself, so I'm just trying to like put one foot in front of the other. Like, I've gotten like a lot of clarity during the quarantine, and like what I feel like is like I really like writing the most. And like if I had to pick between stand up and like writing scripts and creating shows and stuff, I would pick writing. I really like performing, and I don't want to stop doing it, but like I'm genuinely like enjoying and wanting to wake up and like write scripts every day, like as opposed to like thinking about wanting to do stand up.
That's so interesting.
And there's like a part of me that feels like shame even like admitting that, you know what I mean?
But like but that doesn't matter because I feel like stand-up is one of those things, especially like at the store, where it's like, oh, are you a stand-up or are you not a stand-up? If you're a stand-up, then you just do stand-up. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Well, I feel like there's both. I feel like there's people that are like pure stand-ups, and then there's people who like write and like also like act and do stand-up. Because there's some people who aren't interested in like
in writing or acting.
Yeah, and people who just want to do stand-up.
Yeah, I just found for a really long time at the Comedy Store specifically, most people were like, I just do stand-up.
Really?
Yeah, when I first went there, more like when I first started stand-up at the store in like 2010, it felt like everyone who was there was just like, I'm just a stand-up.
Yeah, but that's probably because they didn't get anywhere yet. Because I feel like everyone I know there, all
everyone
are actors
does everything.
and writers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can't think of anyone who like only does stand up really.
Well, you can't just
Like a
do
sauna
stand-up.
mod.
You
Only
can't
does-
just do stand up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
I mean, like, I can't even imagine getting on a plane right now.
I can't believe my mom did. I know.
Was it like empty though?
Like 75 people.
That's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Didn't she drive out here though?
She was
first?
going to, but she didn't.
Oh, I thought she drove here.
She was considering. Yeah, we were just about to go to Hawaii right before quarantine.
I know.
And then it got canceled.
And so how do you feel about that?
I mean, I want to go now because one of my friends just went there a couple of days ago and she's like out there for a month and it looks so fun. And like, she's like, yeah, everyone's like hanging out on the beach. Like the quarantine just got lifted. Everyone's like enjoying themselves.
No.
Yeah.
In Hawaii?
Yeah. Aloha.
That's crazy.
Everyone's chill in Hawaii though.
Yeah, you lived in Hawaii.
Yeah, for 3 years.
Okay, paint a picture. What were you like when you were living in Hawaii?
So I moved out there when I was 17 because I was young for my grade, but I went to college for my first 3 years out there. And I was like a major pothead and all I did was party. I also became a stripper out there when I was 20.
What is the Hawaiian stripper scene like?
There's a lot of strip clubs out there. You know, there's a lot of strip clubs with any like tourism kind of areas. And yeah, it was fun. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the scene is like there out there compared to other well, I guess New York.
Did you strip in New York too?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
So I stripped in Hawaii first and then New York.
So how did the two compare?
Let's see. Just like different types of people, like a lot more Asian people and Australian people were in Hawaii at the strip clubs, and in New York it was like a lot of like rich like businessmen, like Wall Street guys, finance guys, insurance guys, and like people like that.
So where would you make more money, New York or Hawaii?
I don't know. I feel like every night is different, you know?
Okay.
I had like some really good money nights in Hawaii, but probably ultimately in New York, because in New York they had the private rooms, and in Hawaii, like if you gave a private dance, it was just off to the side on like an elevated stage.
Okay.
But in New York, you were in like an actual private room.
So like if you go in the private room, do they pay more?
Yeah, you get paid extra for that.
But you're not having sex?
I mean, dude, I did one time.
You did?
I'm so like, it was so disgusting.
Really?
I was so fucked up, and this guy had tons of coke, and I just wanted to do coke all night.
Okay.
And I wanted to stay in the private room, and I had sex with him.
No.
Isn't that disgusting? I mean, this
So
is
did
like
he pay
12
you
years ago.
in money? Or coke?
I don't coke. Like he just had extra coke, and I was, so it's like, okay, so if you go into the strip club's like an 8-hour shift.
Okay.
So I work sometimes. I would do like the day shift in New York. So I would yeah, it did. And sometimes at night too. It depended what club I was at.
Okay.
So this one club that I was at, I like to do it during the day from 12 to 8, because then I would go out and party after. So like if you were there,
so you stripped from 12 to 8, and then you like
went out all night after and like did coke and party.
till like what time?
Like
4?
Later than that.
No.
Yeah, 4 is when you go to afters.
No.
Yeah. And then I would get home the next day at like 2 or something.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
No.
Swear to God.
For how long was this your lifestyle?
Years. From like, probably from like 20 to 26.
Okay.
And because I was a cokehead.
Okay.
Just to those of you who are wondering why I was still awake. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, so like you'd be on the floor the whole time, which is like annoying because then you have to keep going around and giving people lap dances. But if you got to go in a private room for an hour, you would get paid like a chunk of money. And then you wouldn't have to be like walking around, like giving all these, like you'd be chilling and drinking champagne and maybe partying and hanging out. And like you wouldn't always have to be like dancing. You could be just like talking to people if you were like manipulative and can like, make it go on for longer and just like get into like a chill thing. So like it was much better to be in a private room.
Okay.
So I think it was like I wanted to stay in the room and party, and like at that risk, I was like in my head, I was like, I'll just fuck this guy. It was so disgusting. He was so gross.
Okay,
so, like I'm so
tell
embarrassed.
us, do you have some good like strip
we didn't even
club
use a
stories?
condom. How gross is
No!
that? I swear to God. I like this is like a memory that disgusts me, but I was like 21 maybe.
Okay.
So like it was so long ago that I can look back and say
That
was just,
wasn't
like,
me.
that was just a gross person.
When you can like detach.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I look
I
back
mean-
and I'm like, oh my God, it was so gross.
In my 20s, I did all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. I was like out of fucking control. I feel like such a different person. This is some of the stuff I'm working on in therapy right now, actually.
Like life in your 20s.
Well, I feel like such a different person after getting sober. You know, I'd say really like more so until the past 4 years, I feel different because I was still in a bad relationship in the first other 3 years that I was sober, you know, when I was with my ex, when we had a bad relationship. But, so I'd say like the past 4 years, I really do feel like a different like a totally different person. So I have like a lot of shame about who I was from 20 to 30.
But don't we all?
Yeah, I guess so, right? Do I have to make
mean,
it so dramatic?
If I had, I mean, I don't know. There's something about like learning to like forgive yourself so that you can move on and like enjoy your life up to this point. But like I would be lying if I said some of the choices that I made in my 20s didn't still haunt me.
Really, that makes me feel better to hear because like I was
out of control too.
yeah.
I was like doing coke with like an Ed Hardy designer
Ugh.
often. Like
Yeah.
so, and then he'd like take me to concerts and I'd be like, this is the time of my life. Like I would like be out all the time at clubs all of the time. Before I started stand up, I was out of control.
Really?
And then stand up got me like in check. Yeah. But even the first few years of stand up, I would get wasted before I went on stage. And then I would bomb like hard as fuck.
Yeah, what was that like? Do you have any like memories of being too fucked up on stage?
Yeah. I have so many memories of being too fucked up on stage. I remember like I got asked to do a bringer show, but the promoter was like, you're going to be headlining it. And that means just bring like 40 friends, you know? So like, here, just bomb in front of 40 of your friends and family members.
Oh, no.
And I just remember getting wasted before and just like bombing and like talking out of my ass just for like 45 minutes. And it being like so humiliating and then crying and like... then like having all my friends and family see it and then getting to a place of like, okay, well, every time I drink, I straight up bomb and I'm just not as good. So I finally started taking stand up seriously and then I just kind of stopped drinking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you used to drink a lot before that?
I used to drink more in my 20s when I would like go out and like go to clubs, and then I started stand up and I drank a little bit like my first couple years of stand up, but then I just started to notice like the people who really excel at stand up aren't wasted.
Yeah, totally.
I was so much funnier without it. So yeah, I think like stand up in a lot of ways kind of like saved me from going down like that like rabbit hole of like darkness, you know what I mean? But for a while I'd be like, okay, Tuesday we go to this club, Wednesday we go to this club, and like when I was going to the clubs, it was like fucking Lindsay Lohan was there, it was like the Olsen twins would be there, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. It was like before, I think it was before iPhones, people had Blackberries, so it was like that's where you like went out to be like seen, and it was a whole fucking scene.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
I was obsessed. It was like my life to go out clubbing every night and like going to
and it's all the same people.
Yeah.
At least in LA it was. It'd be like all the same like people, and like the thing that they all had in common, which I didn't have in common, was that they all came from like a lot of money, so they could just like had like no stakes, like they didn't have to go to work the next day ever, they didn't have to like show up and be present or like held responsible for anything. So this was just like the lifestyle.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I really like, you know, being in like your early to mid 20s, like I think doing like partying like that is whatever, but like what really is confusing to me are people who do that in their 30s. Because it's like, or like people who go out for the weekend and get completely shit-faced like every single weekend. Like, don't you have a life? Like, don't you have like stuff to show up for? Like, I can't imagine doing that like later in life.
Well, but also like my tolerance for those types of people has completely gone down. Like I can't tolerate someone who's like not making sense when they're talking. I'm like, I can't talk to you. It's actually nauseating trying to have a conversation with you because the words that are coming out of your mouth are not even making sense. And like, I mean, I'm not sober. I do smoke weed, and that's like That's my thing. But you know, it's been interesting trying to navigate like cannabis consumption during quarantine, because it's like you don't want to go off the rails and get so stoned that like you're just like doing nothing.
That makes sense. I never thought of that because I'd be smoking all day.
Yeah, I have to like do it in little breaks.
Yeah, is that hard?
Well, I don't know. I kind of have my quarantine schedule. So my quarantine schedule.
What's your schedule?
My schedule is this. I sleep in, and then I go on a walk, and I normally walk like 5 miles a day.
5?
Yeah, I've been walking 5 miles every day since the start of quarantine, pretty much. Well, actually, I started walking like 3 weeks into quarantine every day. Yeah. And I look insane when I go on my walks.
Why?
The outfits.
You pumping?
The outfits.
What are they?
Insane.
What are they?
Okay, so I got these like spandex shorts from Fabletics.
Okay. How is that line?
I don't know. I kept seeing it showing up on my fucking Instagram, and so I was like, okay, I guess. And so they're like bike shorts, but they have like a pocket in them.
Ooh, you need the pocket.
But here's the thing. They're short as hell. They're short as hell, and guess who wasn't going to do a return during COVID? Me. I'm not mailing it back. I'm not risking infection.
I've been there.
So I'm wearing these short shorts, and I'm telling you, like, there's a lot hanging out. You know what I mean?
I've had pairs like that.
And I'm like, this might be like a slightly offensive. Like, it's like, come on, who do you think you are, bitch? You're not like a 17-year-old supermodel. I'm like, it's like there's like cellulite. It's a whole fucking scene.
I've been there.
And I've just been like, I'm just gonna fucking own it, because who am I seeing? Literally nobody. So I'm just walking around, cellulite out through the streets.
Totally. Do you wear a mask?
I bring a mask in my fanny pack. Okay, gets worse. I have a fanny pack that was given to me. It wasn't a fanny pack I purchased. It's an orange fanny pack, and it has like crazy swirls on it. It's like
she's loud.
And it's like kind of big on me, and that's hanging on over the like booty shorts with
there?
The cellulite.
There's
gloves. There's hand sanitizer.
Gloves?
Yes.
For what?
Because okay, we'll get there. I have hand sanitizer, a mask, gloves, my debit card just in case.
Yeah, of course.
And okay, so I have that. That's my get up. And then I have on a sports bra, and I was doing this.
Just that?
Yeah, and I was doing this crazy vest.
What?
Over it. Hold on. That had like all these different pockets, because it was like a cargo vest, and I was like, I can store all my shit in here, because I didn't want to bring my bag with me.
In addition to the fanny pack.
No. I was doing the vest first, and then I said the vest is just getting too much.
Clunky.
It's clunky.
Fisher
it's hot.
woman.
Yeah, it's like, who do I think I am? So then I switched to the fanny pack. So now it's a fanny pack, booty shorts that don't fit right, and then like a sports bra. That's it. Then I power walk for 5 miles.
How fast? Is it power? It's a power walk.
It depends on the day.
Is it brisk?
It's brisk. Like, I like to keep it moving. I like to like walk by different homes and see like what kind of decoration choices were made.
Love that. Kangaroos, perhaps.
Yes, my neighbor has a kangaroo. I discovered that. If you've been listening to the solo pods, you know that.
Do you listen to podcasts or music?
I talk to my friend.
Oh.
I talk on the phone.
Okay.
And then I listen to music. If I'm not talking to someone, I listen to music, and I put my phone on do not disturb, and I'll just walk the streets. And this kills like 2.5 hours. That's
2.5?
I'm just out there walking, taking my time. My feet are fucking blistered.
It's daily?
It's daily.
What time of day?
It just depends. Now, well, like earlier this week it was really hot, and last week it was really hot, so I like had to go earlier.
Because if you do a 1 o'clock walk, you're dead.
You're dead.
Do you bring water?
Yeah, I bring water.
Thank God.
Then I swing by. I pick up a coffee.
Oh, God.
I gotta get my oat latte. I swing by Sweet Lady Jane.
I love Sweet Lady Jane.
On foot. And that's when I pull out my gloves. And put on the mask from the fanny pack, see my friends, they hook it up, get my coffee. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra rowdy, I'll get a shortbread.
What kind of shortbread?
It's just like a shortbread cookie.
Is it dipped in chocolate?
It's not, but it's incredible.
I love Sweet Lady Jane. What else do you like there? Triple berry.
The triple berry cake's incredible. It's like a shortcake, but with different types of berries. If you're like, what is that?
It's incredible.
It's like blueberries, boysenberries,
There's no
raspberries.
boysens.
There aren't? Is it just blue and ras?
No, it's black. They're blue and they're ras.
Triple.
There's not a single boysen.
I'm like, what? Really?
Mm-mm.
What's the difference between a boysenberry and a blackberry? Does anybody know?
A blackberry looks like a black raspberry, but it's a little bigger. And I think a boysenberry.
Oh, here,
there's
this is
my
the cake.
A boysenberry, I feel like would look like a blueberry. I've never seen a boysenberry.
Isn't a boysenberry?
I'm gonna Google
what kind is it? I
unless
can't
he
see
is.
from there.
It's a triple berry. Oh, does it say it?
You can choose between blackberries or blueberries, and it's raspberries and strawberries.
Thank you.
Oh, look, the cake ranges from $55 to $450.
I love because you can get huge ones. That's like my favorite cake.
It's incredible.
It's so good.
And then if you ask for a slice of that, it's incredible.
Ugh, for $7.50.
It is $750.
Yeah, $7.50. I used to get a cinnamon roll from there every day.
Ooh, a cinnamon
I
roll?
couldn't just say it. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Cinnamon.
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 And they also have these things. They're like called cream cheese puffs.
Oh.
They're like, it's like a cream cheese Danish puff.
Huh.
I mean, I've had to reel it in because I'm walking and then I go in and eat the fucking treat and then I'm like, does it cancel it out? And like, no.
Yeah, I think it does.
For sure it does.
Have you been baking?
I did a cressata. I've done a few cressatas. Apple crumble. We love that. I love a crumble.
What makes it crumby?
Unsalted butter.
Oh.
Did you know that?
I don't know.
You just okay, so
I'm not a pie girl.
if you make a crumble, you just melt unsalted butter in like the microwave and then you mix like flour and like cinnamon and a few different things and then it just like turns into clumps.
Oh.
It's
and
just
that's
like
on
butter.
top of a pie.
And that's on top of it.
Oh, I see. It's the crust. It's a little crumby crust.
Yeah, it's really good.
Ooh, that sounds good. I've been making small batch cookies.
Okay, so explain what that means. Just like a few?
Yeah, it's like usually 6 cookies and it's like half the recipe. So it's like then you don't, and you eat it in fucking 2 days. Then you don't have like all these cookies because Steven, okay, this is the little funny thing.
Okay.
Steven has been on his diet.
Oh, yeah,
He
talk
lost
about
23 pounds.
it. Okay.
And I've been secretly adding, like, he'll be like, is there sugar in this? And I'm like, no. But, like, there was a squirt of honey, and I'm not fucking saying anything. And I'm a little bit nervous saying this out loud
Really?
on the podcast.
You're sabotaging your husband?
Yeah. And, like, one time there was, like, panko in something, and I was like, no, it's just Parmesan.
So you've been low-key tricking him?
Poisoning.
Eat it all, honey.
Yeah.
Make sure you eat all of it.
Yeah.
Darling.
Oh, there's nothing in there. Just enjoy it. I think tonight I'll be making Thai lettuce cups. Remember lettuce cups?
Yeah. How could
Yeah.
I forget a lettuce cup?
I know.
What kind of lettuce do you need for that? Iceberg?
You can use iceberg, but we found these butter lettuces
Oh.
at Whole Foods. I saw thumbs up. You like the butter lettuce?
It was an enthusiastic one.
That's the best one for the cups.
Oh, do you make cups?
My girlfriend does, yeah.
What kind of cups is she making?
We both eat mostly like vegetarian at home. So we get like the Beyond meat, and she like seasons it with like Asian like teriyaki-esque sauce, and then dices up little carrots and onions and sautés it all together.
Yum,
It's
that
very
sounds good. Damn, now I'm wishing I had a mushroom for mine.
That sounds good.
Ours is gonna have chicken, but it's minced chicken, which I guess comes out of ground chicken.
That's what minced chicken is?
I think so, yeah. I think it's like you cook it into, I think minced chicken is just ground chicken that's like cooked essentially into like a ground beef, like, but it's ground chicken. That's what I'm assuming.
What?
Yeah, I think so.
Minced?
I think so.
I don't know what the word minced really means.
It's
Can we look up the word minced?
I think it's just, we're just
so
looking
nice.
things up.
It's so
I'm
nice having
stretching for
Anthony here
things. This
for-
is a 2-part episode. Or is
Mincing.
it like fine chopping? What is it? Ground.
Is
So
minced
it's
just
cut
a
or
synonym?
ground.
Yep, cut up or grind into very small pieces, typically in a machine with revolving blades.
Fuck, I need to get a machine with revolving blades.
Yeah, I tried to make pasta one time, and I love pasta. I'm a big fan, and it didn't come out good. And everything I've made in quarantine has been excellent to the point of a restaurant discussion.
Yes.
So when the pasta didn't come out well, the homemade pasta
Oh.
for the first time, I was depressed for 3 hours.
You were devastated.
Wait,
I-
what was wrong with the pasta?
So, first of all, I don't think we were doing the kneading right. I was doing it like live with a friend, and I don't know, like I just wasn't getting it. Then I used too much flour.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to like roll it, and it's so hard to get thin. And I wasn't using a machine, I was using a rolling pin, and then I was just cutting it with a fork, like kind of rustic shapes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you do it? You've done it?
Yeah, I make homemade ravioli.
What?
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's my my grandma was like straight off the boat from Sicily. And
Oh
her
my God.
recipe. But the key to the dough is you basically add flour until you can't feel it mixing. Like there's like this equilibrium you reach, and then you have to take that dough and you let it set in a freezer for about like 10 to 15 minutes, and that tightens up the I guess like gluten molecules or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just allows you to get really thin with it.
I think it's the yeast, actually.
Yeah.
But we put it in the fridge. But like I think
Freezer for sure.
Oh really? So we combined it. We combined it. We combined. We combined it. What is
They
it?
combined.
No, but if it's past tense,
Combined.
we compound.
No, we combined.
It's just combined.
We combined. Oh, okay. I think
We
I'm
combined.
I think I'm tired.
Well, now you're making me second guess
I've
it.
been
I'm
talking a lot,
I'm like,
too.
I'm like, yeah, this is the most I've talked with like another
I know.
person.
I'm like
It's-
sleepy.
It's like the most I've talked with another person in the flesh in a long time.
Not even your mom?
No, we don't talk anymore. We just nod. No.
That's so funny.
No, I mean, no. I talked to my mom. My mom is so sick of me. Poor woman. I'm like, Mom, can you paint my nails? Mom, can you paint my nails? It's like, Sarah, maybe later.
She seems so cool. She's so
cool.
sweet.
She's very sweet. That's why it's hard. Being like quarantined with a sweet mom is hard.
She's
because,
so nice.
because it's like she's mostly always nice and always in a good mood. And sometimes I just wake up and I feel like a fucking bitch. Like I'm like, how are you like mostly in good spirits?
What's wrong with her? She's
I
so
don't know.
awesome.
I don't know. I'm more like my dad.
Really? And what's
Yeah.
he like? I want In and Out so
my
bad.
dad is like, my dad's a workaholic, so like this has been a head fuck for him.
Yeah.
For sure. He doesn't know what to do with himself, and so he turns everything into like a task. Like things that don't need to be a big task, he wants
to spend his time.
Yeah, he complicates them. He'll be like, Debbie, what's going on with these dishes? And she'll be like, I don't know, they're drying, it looks like, doesn't it? And he'll be like, all right, I'm gonna put this away. This goes here, right? Like he doesn't. It's just like everything is like he's not used to being home and like in the kitchen, and now he's like looking towards retirement, and it's just like.
How long have they been married?
35 years.
Wow. Do you notice any like stuff they do that makes them like be in a good relationship? Like, do you notice like?
My mom always does her own thing.
Okay, tell me more about that.
She'll be like, okay, like my mom's really patient and sweet. And like if she gets annoyed with my dad, she'll just like not engage with him at all until she's like cooled off. Sometimes she'll be like, I'm going on a drive. And then she'll get in the car and go on a drive. And they have like their own lives. Like my mom very much has her own life. And then they like spend time together, but not all the time together.
So, like, do they do their own thing and then at night they'll watch like an hour of TV together and have dinner?
Yeah. I mean, like yesterday, for example, my mom was in the middle of cleaning the house and she was like, and I opened the garage and she goes, fuck, is that your dad? Because she didn't want him to come home too soon because then he'd be in the middle of like her cleaning and that just seemed kind of annoying. You know what I mean? Like, because he like wants to be hands-on, but he doesn't know how to be hands-on because he's used to being in the office.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but all kinds of different things. Like I mean, they've had like their issues like any married couple, but like I noticed like the biggest thing is that my mom's very independent and has like her own interests. And that makes a big difference. And her own friendships.
So
her whole identity isn't like my
and she's
dad.
not like concerned with like, are we gonna do something later? She's just like, hi.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's more of an introvert. She like likes being by herself. Like she'll be like in her room and I'll be like, what are you doing? She's like, can I just watch 90 Day Fiance, please? I'll be like, okay.
Oh my God. That's cool.
Like she'll just like shut herself out.
Yeah, because like the first half of quarantine, I was very needy.
And then what happened?
And we got in like a lot of fights and like had to do couples therapy about it. And like, I guess I wasn't giving him his space, or like, he always says like I'm not like chill around him. Like he just wants to like sit in silence, like be next to me, like as he's decompressing from his day. And I don't always have to be like, hi, or like comment on something, or like, I don't know. So that's been like an adjustment.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that's psycho or normal. I think it's normal though. I think guys, like I'm really learning, like need a lot of space.
Anthony, what do you think?
I'm like, so I was like an only child for a very long time, and then in the course of like under a year, I had 4 siblings.
What? Oh, remarried?
Yeah, my mom and dad were never married, and they married 2 other people, so I had 2.
That's
2
crazy.
Yeah, and they were born. My brother and sister were born within 2 weeks of each other. My first brother and sister, and then my second brother and sister were born 2 weeks apart as well. And they were opposites. So it went boy on my mom's side, girl on my dad's side, and then girl on my mom's side, boy on my dad's side.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I have this weird thing where like, I don't know. I like being alone. I like being independent and like separate. But I like to take care. I'm more of like a
caretaker.
I want to take care of people. I want to like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, so you're probably like me.
I'm like, I can be like that too.
I'm like, hi.
Yeah,
I'm like, you want carrot salad?
I'm more like, I'll be like, Mom, what's up? What's going on? Do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want eggs? I made eggs. And she's just more chill. She'll be like, I'm watercoloring.
Whoa, she's so independent.
Yeah.
Is she good?
Watercolors, gardens. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I want her to do it more.
And you've been organizing a lot, as I understand.
Nonstop.
And how do you find the energy to do that? Because that's the one for me that I'm like not as good at.
Okay, well, I've just been, for me, it's more of like a mental thing where it's like, okay, if I'm going to be in this space and this space doesn't feel like it's clean, then I can't be in the space. And I can't do what I need to do in this space, especially because I've been podcasting a lot from home. And like trying to do that from home for me has been a lot. It's been hard. I don't know why. I've just had like a struggle with it. Just like motivating to like talk by myself in front of a mic and then do all of that shit. And I found that the only way I can do it is if everything's clean before.
Yeah.
And then just like trying to like create the space to invite like new things into my life. And I heard that somewhere and I was like, that sounds like I like the intention behind that of like, okay, well, this stuff, like getting rid of stuff, like this stuff served me until this point, but I have so many things that I've just collected over like the last however many years, and I'm like, I don't wear this, let's get rid of it. Just like getting rid of shit and not being afraid to get rid of it. I've been doing that a lot.
What about stuff that you're like, oh, I don't fit into this anymore, but I might? Like, do you just get rid of stuff that doesn't fit you anymore?
See, okay, I have
that's the
a bag
hard
of
one
stuff
for
right
me.
now that I'm on the fence of. And now I got to a certain point and I'm like, what do I do with this stuff? But I've had it in a bag for a month and I haven't thought about any of the stuff, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Ooh, that's a good way to do it. Because I've like so much shit that like I don't really wear that much, but I still want to hold on to it because it's like, oh, I might need that for like an audition. It's like, what?
My clothes are my like that's where I spend most of my money. My clothes. I mean, are you missing getting your hair done and like all?
Not my hair. I want to get my eyebrows done. I want to get them tinted and like shaped. I really want to get my nails done because my nails look like shit. I'm really bad at them. And like I got a nail kit, but I just can't figure it out. Like my nails just aren't for me. I want to get my nails done really bad. The hair is like fine though. I want to get my asshole waxed, to be honest, because like there's just certain spots you can't hit with a razor.
Do you wish you got a quick asshole waxing?
Have you ever gotten your asshole waxed? Yeah. Or, like, I'm missing an asshole wax.
It sounds
Like, when you're in
ideal.
quarantine, you need it waxed.
You
Like,
need
there's
it.
too much time to discover.
But also,
Oh, you know what's
what?
you know what's funny? It's like when we have sex, like we've only had sex a couple times with Jackie around, because we're sick of each other, and whenever we do, he like freaks the fuck out, and he like trying to jump on the bed, and he's like crying, and he just
No.
doesn't understand it. If we try to lock him out of the room, like it can't happen. So he just like comes in. So it's so hard to like I don't know. I know like for me personally, like if Steven's like eating me out, like I need to like focus. I need to like think about like some sort of like scenario that like isn't this. I'm not me. He's doing this to someone else or like something like that. Do you do that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good. So
I totally disconnected. I'm like, I'm not even here.
yeah,
and
I'm
I
never
have
the
to-
person who's the person. I disassociate to a different fantasy
I've done that
every
so
single time. I have to tell a story.
I tell my own stories in my head too.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I think girls do that. I don't think guys do that. So I have to really get set on my story. So then the dog's like, "Meow, meow, meow," and it's so distracting. It's like, I really need to focus to come. Like, I need focus. If not, it's like, just forget it, dude. Just fucking fill me up. But I don't think it's so hard to come with the dog crying.
Yeah, one of my ex-boyfriends had a dog, and it was so annoying.
Yeah.
And it was nonstop. And it was a huge dog, and it would like cry and like every time we had sex. And sometimes it would like just turn its back to us and just look at us like we're disgusting pigs.
Yeah. So then after he like doesn't even want anything to do with us. He'll like ignore us and he'll be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I did something wrong. Oh, and then like one night I was giving Steven a massage and then I ended it with like head, you know, like a little happy ending, a little present. And Jaggy was like jumping on the bed the whole time and he wanted so badly. And then he ignored me the rest of the night and punished me.
No.
Yeah, because I was giving him so much attention. And then I sing this little song I made up for Jaggy that goes, "You're my little baby and I love you."
No.
And I sing it and I pet him and sing this song.
No.
And then I was doing it last night to Steven. I was going like, "You're my little Steven and I love you." And Jaggy got so upset he walked out of the room.
No.
Because that's his song.
Okay, wait. First of all, Chelsea has become a full dog person. She's like the people from you and Steven belong on Best in Show. Have you seen Best in Show?
Yeah, I did.
Let's pull up a clip from Best in Show. This is every time I look at your Instagram story, the dog's mouth is in your mouth. It's like you guys are both naked, and the dog's mouth is like licking your feet on Steven's
discovered
torso,
a thing.
on Chelsea's torso. It's like I'm like, are they fucking the dog?
I discovered a thing you could do if you open up your mouth and go, "Ah," he puts his tongue in it.
It's crazy. This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
You gotta call Dr. Nelkin.
Why?
Beatrice made a pee-pee on the sheets.
That's you.
In your slipper.
My Orvis slippers?
I don't know. You been talking to her?
Of course I've been talking to her.
What have you been saying?
I've been saying that when mommy and daddy make love, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Sometimes.
Excuse me?
We met at Starbucks. Not at the same Starbucks, but we saw each other at different Starbucks across the street from each other.
All right.
This is so relatable.
I know, you gotta watch it again.
I know. I saw it so long ago, like in high school. So I'm gonna.
Oh my
maybe
god,
we'll
this
watch
is
it
the
tonight.
funniest.
I haven't seen it recently.
It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, that's the end of our episode.
That
I have,
was so.
I have
Sarah.
another.
No, you don't.
I have another gift for you
You're kidding.
from Oh Yeah Socks.
Oh yeah.
These ones, I call the casual witchcraft socks. Because I know you have a cauldron.
Sarah. Oh my God! I didn't expect a rose. I love them. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, OES Socks. Check out OES Socks. Discount code Sarah10.
Moonchild.
She's a moonchild. And that's our episode. And where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Chelsea Skidmore, on Twitter at Skidmore Chelsea. And please remember to check out my podcast, The Chelsea Skidmore Show, available on YouTube.
YouTube.
iTunes and YouTube. I'm tired.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening to another episode of Shank. Bye.